The next cement we're going to mix today is the polycarboxylate cement. It's more commonly known as Durelon. The setup for this is the Durelon powder, liquid syringe, the plunger for the syringe, the measuring scoop, paper pad, a plastic beaver tail instrument, and a metal spatula. You will also want 2x2 alcohol 2x2s to wipe the instrument after mixing, because you will see that the material is very sticky, so it will stick and stay on the metal spatula unless we get to it very quickly. We are going to mix the Durelon to a base. We want to fluff the powder. In order to do that, we do not shake the powder, we fluff it. We simply tilt it upside down 2 or 3 times. Once we do this, it only needs to be done once. So if we are circulating this powder around the room, it only needs to be done the very first time. For a base, we're going to use 1 scoop. The measuring stick will go straight down into the powder. We just want to make sure it's all the way filled. So we push it straight down, bring it back up, and you'll see that the top is filled, which you cannot see here, but you can look. You want to make sure it's completely filled, and then you want to take it over to your mixing pad, and with your metal spatula, you can tap it out. Okay, make sure all of the powder has been removed. We also want to take a little bit extra and place it on the side, because this will help us when we have to roll it up onto our gloves. This will prevent the material from sticking to the glove. Now, I put a little bit too much material here. You could probably use a lot less than that. Always want to make sure we close our lid before proceeding. Okay. Next, we want to insert the plunger into the material, and to make a base, we want to use 1 full scoop and 1 line. Okay, so there's lines, measurement lines along the side of this material. What we're going to do is we're going to open and then directly next to it we're going to plunge until we get to 1 full line. You want to make sure that your materials are not touching. Okay, so I'm at my 1 line. I want a dry 2x2, and I want to wipe this, recap, okay, and then remove the plunger. Okay. Next, we're going to mix our material. I suggest bringing the powder to the liquid, or if you prefer, bring your liquid to your powder. So you want this to also be mixed to a homogeneous mix. This material is not as easy to mix as some others would be, especially because we're going for a base consistency. It's going to be tacky and doughy and a little bit more difficult to mix. So you really want to work that spatula in there, and you want to work all of that powder material in there, leaving this powder still on the side because that will not be brought into the material. So you really want to work the spatula, flip it around, get it really good to a homogeneous mix. Okay, once you've gotten all of your material mixed, you want to bring it all up onto the spatula, and then you want to get that powder here in the corner and coat your fingers with it. Okay, see how nice and coated. Then I want to scrape it off as much of the material as I can. And I want to roll it into a ball. Okay, roll it up. It'll be like a little piece of Play-Doh. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my beaver tail instrument and break it in half to make it easier and smaller for the doctor to retrieve. You want to make sure you immediately wipe your spatula off because this stuff will stick, so the longer you wait, the harder it will get to clean. So immediately start cleaning your spatula with that alcohol 2x2. And that is how we mix polycarboxylate, also known as Durelon.